Well, hello, Robert Heffernan with EndoTech. This is Blockchain Vitals. It's our weekly edition. I am a master endotechnician. I'm firmly in the matrix when I'm trading cryptos, and everything's in the matrix trading. Anyway, please follow us on Twitter at endotech_IO, and I am at HFR from the floor. And it's Sunday for me, 5/19/2019. It's already Monday morning, the 20th of May. Unbelievable here, almost into June, and we're going to have that monthly fractal now in 10 days. It's unbelievable. And how important is that role going to be, that monthly fractal? I'm waiting with incredible anticipation as the days go by. And that's the kind of trader I am. I am fractal specific. I tried to pick out time frames and understand that time frames drive the market, right? And the longer time frame that you are looking at, the more important that chart is. And so right now we have a weekly, right? We have a weekly roll, and we're going to talk about that in the vitals. But before that, let's do the rounds. Doing the rounds is my chance to talk about something I'm seeing in the blockchain assets, or a tweet or a headline or something. And this one jumps out at me. Bitfinex, cryptocurrency exchange, gives details on utility token Leo. They're launching their own utility token. They actually raised $1 billion and exchanged $1 billion for all of the Leo tokens that they created. The white paper's just been out for like 10 days or something. It's incredible how fast stuff moves in this asset class. But anyway, all I'm going to tell you what my feelings on this Leo token, and it's supposed to trade, good morning in Asia, by the way, it's the 20th, it's supposed to start trading today. I have not seen it on my Bitfinex app as a tradable pair yet, so maybe maybe it's later today in Asia that it's going to start. But I am not one that will count out Bitfinex and their ability to deliver, and I am going to grab myself some Leo tokens when I have the ability to grab them, because just from my experience, this exchange seems to be the trailblazer. This, along with Binance, I'll give you Binance that. But Bitfinex, by and large, in our experience, has been just incredibly efficient and well run from an exchange matching engine standpoint, from messaging, from all the things that a trader understands that needs to be done in an electronic environment. They've been doing great. And I don't see how you can... so the article goes on to explain that launching the Leo token. They also go on to explain and start talking negatively about Bitfinex, because obviously they do have their problems with litigation and such. And they point out again that the article that there's not all the Tether there. And again, there's a disconnect for me on this storyline, because Tether is trading actually premium to the dollar. And the article is trying to say there's only 70% of the Tether of dollars in accounts to match the Tether that's outstanding. Somebody's lying. But right now the market's telling you that there is the money there, because it should be trading at 70 cents if the other, or some fraction thereof. Their ability to make money obviously would counteract some of that lack of transparency. But for me, something doesn't make sense. That's all I'm telling you. I don't know how they could be off 30% on what they say they have in Tether, and yet have the Tether still be trading premium to the US dollar. That doesn't make sense to me. Anyway, that's what I'm seeing there on Bitfinex. And speaking of exchanges, I'm going to bring up another little tweet here, a little interaction. And I am watching closely the Biaxi exchange coming out of the great city of Chicago, Illinois. A city that knows something about trading, something that knows about commodities and futures and treasury bonds. So many things have been incredibly successful in Chicago. And so I'm keeping my eyes on this Biaxi exchange. They are supposed to be launching here very soon, maybe this week. And the thing that gets me excited about the BXC exchange, first of all, these guys from Chicago understand trading. They come out of the commodity trading world and the equity trading world. They understand that for you to be a truly successful trader, you need multiple professional order styles in order to exchange, in the market, to be a market participant. And they're promising up to 18, I believe, different smart order types instead of just buy market, excuse me, limit orders. Anyway, I've been watching it. I've been watching the excitement that they're generating, and I am truly excited to see how their platform works, because believe me, the space needs, first of all, smart orders, which they intend to offer, and it also needs just liquidity and deep liquidity. And my hope is that being in Chicago and the other professional trading groups out of Chicago, liquidity providers, maybe there's going to be better liquidity here than we have seen in other exchanges. We saw this evidently last week with the demolishing of Bitcoin in a relatively small period of time for a relatively, from what I'm hearing, an order that shouldn't have demolished the market by 20%. Anyway, that's what this asset class really needs, is deeper liquidity. The other thing I wanted to point out, on the EndoTech site now, you can see the Pareto principle in living color, and it's always been there, but right now we're down to four coins making up 80% of this market. 4 coins. It's as low as we've seen as long as I've been looking at it for the past, 16 months or so, 18 months. And it tells me that, I think what it's telling me is that bigger money is coming into the market, and they're going to go to places where there's more liquidity, i.e. the top coins. And I think that just keeps happening for the near term. And you can see on the Bitcoin crosses against all of these other coins, Bitcoin has been dominant. In fact, today when I looked, the only one that put up a fighting and is actually trading, I think, 10% higher against Bitcoin was Dash. Anyway, this is all part of the actionable trading information, or the vitals. Let's take the vitals and talk about real price action. Taking the vitals, my chance to actually talk about what is actually being traded, the actual price discovery happening. And right now, Bitfinex trading Bitcoin at 80.47, 80.50. It's jumping around. And for me, incredibly important now here, we've been legging up, and I got to tell you, I've made some money in Bitcoin, and I've gotten out at the weekly collars and then at the monthly momentum level, and anticipating, a solid, violent pullback, and we just haven't got it. And so I have sat there twice now thinking I'd improve my average, and had to reach and buy back into the market at a worse place where I sold them from. And believe me, that happens. I got to tell you something about trading. It is full of pitfalls, and it is full of second guessing all day long. But anyway, I have actually jumped back in here, and we just got so much room though. It's precarious at these levels, and I'll tell you why. Because Bitcoin on the weekly now, although we have an incredible amount of expanding potentiality on that weekly chart, and this week that up momentum collar on the weekly coming in at 95.12. And remember the monthly up momentum collar, 10,338. So some room here to the upside. But on the weekly, 67.26 is that up momentum collar on the weekly. Up momentum, the up momentum level, 67.26. $1,300 lower from here. Now that's the level I was working last week. It was at like 6,200, and I was working down there. We got nowhere near there. And this week it's up to 67.26 up momentum in Bitcoin. So it could break, what I'm telling you is it could break $1,300, and that's just a good place to enter the market. And as assets go parabolic, like this thing is starting to do, there's going to be real wide swings here that you're going to have to be, and you should be, patient and wait for. Anyway, that's what I'm seeing here. And what I really want to see now, though, is us hold this up mo on the daily, 78.98. If we do show some strength here early in the week. I want to hold the up momentum on the daily in order to stay involved in this. If we do take that level out, spend some time and volume underneath there, I got no problem punting on it until we get a test of that upmo on the weekly. So that's what I'm looking at in Bitcoin. Mind the mo, man. That's all you got to do. You got to mind the mo. All right, listen, I'm going to say goodbye to the YouTube crowd. You need to be an EndoTech subscriber in order to capture all of the actual trading content of this segment. And tomorrow, please tune in at 11 a.m. Eastern Time. I will be starting, this segment will actually be moved into that morning time frame and be part of a broader segment called Market Vitals. And I will cover my blockchain stuff in that segment. So please tune in tomorrow morning for Blockchain Vitals as a part of Market Vitals, 11 a.m. Eastern on YouTube. I'm going to look to push that other places also to see where we get the best interaction from the public. So probably on Twitter, on Facebook. We'll try a bunch of different things. Anyway, thank you for watching on Facebook, on YouTube.